Fit, like, where did you put it?
Why wouldn't
You want to do the intro like Justin did? What? Why not? He just like... Yeah, I had to like cut it. It was real bad. All right, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video. Today, as you can tell by the title of the video, we got an intercooler for the A3.
Will it fit? Who knows?
That's the question, isn't it? It's actually off of a Mark 6 GTI, so they do have allegedly the same fitment. So we're gonna go ahead and start with obviously ripping the front bumper off and all that, and then we will go from there. And I've got my good buddy Nathan in the chat helping with the install today, so hopefully we don't break anything and it goes nice and smoothly.
Why not break it?
But anyways, let's jump right into it and start ripping the front bumper apart. Alright, so the first bolts you're going to want to pull out to get the bumper off are the three on the very top. These will appear to look like they're going to attach the grill to the bumper, but they actually act as the top bumper fastener. So we're going to take those three out, and then you're going to come over here down into the wheel well, and hopefully you can see there are three bolts that you have to get undone. One at the bottom, one midway up the front bumper, and then one just around in here. And then there's going to be a 10 mil behind the liner that you're gonna have to pull out. And then once you have those off, you're gonna need to go under the car. And it's too dark to see anything, of course. But if you can see my finger, there is one bolt dead down the center that holds the bottom of the bumper. One to the left side in a little recess right here, which is just out from the little tip on the S-line bumper right there. And then there's also another one on the corresponding space on the opposite side, same place as well. And then there's going to be two more little Torx bits that hold the bottom of the fender liner to the bumper. You're going to want to pull those off as well.
Doing it without the make, my buddies.
And then obviously if you do have fog lights, you have to disconnect these guys before you pull the bumper off, but that's the bumper. All right, so since we have an aftermarket intake, if you had a stock one, remove your stock air box. I'm gonna remove my intake shroud here so we have better access to the top of the rad and the intercooler. And then after that, we're going to basically remove the entire front clip support, and I'll show you guys how to do that because it's a little bit more complicated than just a Mark 6. So with the intake removed, we're now going to remove these 16 millimeter bolts that hold the radiator support to the frame rails. There's another one in there, and then there's two down in there. We're gonna crack those guys off and then see what else needs to come off. Okay, so we pulled the intercooler pipes out. This is your passenger side one if you're in North America, and if you're in Europe, this is your driver's side one. Just using the little retaining clips with a flathead or whatever, stick them in there and then pull. And then obviously this one on the driver's side with the hose clamp, pull that guy off. And now we're gonna pull the fan shroud off, which has a connector at the bottom of it, which is just like stick a flathead in it on the little red side, pop that out, and then that should come out. And then we're now gonna take the four Torx bits, T25s, to get the fan shroud to come out, and that'll come out through the bottom. All right, so we got the fan shroud out now. That's gonna come out the bottom of your car if you don't disconnect your top radiator hose. And why is my autofocus being so trash? So it's got four bolts, Torx bits, T25s on all four corners, and those just kind of attach to the radiator shroud in the back. And then you also have to disconnect, like I said, this connector right here, and then that should drop out. And so now we have to do the kind of big part of this whole job, and we have to drain the radiator. So we're gonna disconnect the lower line down there, and it's got a sensor on it, and then it's also just another one of those bayonet clips So just one of these guys to get the radiator hose off, and we're gonna drain it and hopefully not spill it all over my garage floor and I end up getting killed.
A little late on that one.
And it's got a little wet. That's alright. Alright, so now the lower one's draining. We're gonna go ahead and disconnect the upper, which is the same method. Just the bayonet clip. We should be able to pop this guy off. If it's gonna cooperate, I'll just pull the clip right off, I guess. And that one's off now too. So now we're gonna remove the torque screws that are holding the radiator to the intercooler. We've just kind of zap strapped the top radiator hose out of the way a little bit. Just make sure you don't kink your lines too much and you should be okay. And then we also just zap strapped the lower one up slightly so that it doesn't drain as much. And we've only maybe lost like 2 liters of coolant. So there's still probably going to be quite a bit inside the radiator. So when you pull it out, you're going to want to rotate it and just keep it underneath that bucket so that it'll start draining out the bottom. Alright, so with the 4 bolts removed, we got Nathan now just tilting it over and draining the remainder of the coolant out into our amazing bucket reservoir. And sorry that it's so dark out, but it's actually only like 5 o'clock and good old winter making everything real dark.
Welcome to Canada.
Welcome to Canada. So that's draining there. Then we should be able to get this guy out and hopefully I don't have to take off my PCB lines because those are kind of annoying. Yeah, whenever you're ready. Somehow get that off. Oh.
Well,
help. Alright, so after a little bit of technical difficulties and almost blowing open my Freon lines, the stock intercooler is out. Yep, a one-hander, no problem. And here's the aftermarket one. This is a CTS Turbo front mount intercooler. Here, I'll hold it.
heavier.
Yeah, just a little bit. I kind of want to go, should I go get a scale so we can see how like actually like different these are? Because I feel like that one's not going to register and this one's going to be like 60 pounds. We're going to weigh these guys.
Register. Should we weigh me first and then subtract it?
Okay,
It's
sure.
Smarter. No, fuck that.
Oh, okay. Well, if it doesn't work, then we'll do that. Okay. Slap the factory one on there. It is literally face IDing on the thing. Oh, we're doing your weight?
No, I have the intercooler in my hands, buddy.
Okay, so 218 with the stock intercooler. No, here. Or just, we'll get a baseline too. Well, 210.8. So that means it's literally like 7 pounds for the stock intercooler. Oh! 240. So that's 22 pounds. Or wait.
22 pounds more, so
Yeah,
it's
22 pounds
it's like
more.
30 pounds.
Yeah, so that intercooler's 30 pounds. That one is 7.
Performance, cello.
Performance, let's go. Alright, so the intercooler is in, for lack of a better word. We just gotta squeeze the radiator over there back in, and these bolts for the AC condenser were a little bit difficult. If you don't have them and for some reason you have a CTS kit, I found out the hard way that these are M5s, which turn out to be an 8mm bolt because the guy that I bought this off of didn't give me the bolts, so shout out to him. But now it's all in and we're good to go. So let's throw the radiator back in and take this thing for a drive, hopefully, and don't blow some shit up.
Oh, FBI.
Alright, so now that everything, the fan shroud, all the important stuff is back in, we've got the plumbing for the radiators done. I've got one side of the intercooler done, I just have to do the driver's side now, and I actually don't have a pipe that's going to fit, and then I'm just going to quickly pop everything back together because it is getting late and really cold. You just basically do everything in reverse the way that you took it off to put it back on, and not really much to it other than the bumper. Don't mess it up. Let's figure out the charge piping.
So easy.
Right? It's gonna be easy to put in, but it's just, yeah. All right, so It's another day. We couldn't get anything really like custom that wasn't from an actual like aftermarket manufacturer to replace this intercooler pipe. And as I said previously, I don't know if I'll edit it in or not, someone on the Mark 5 forums said that you could just cut this end off of the stock pipe and it would fit. Or sorry, this is 2 1/4.
2 1/4, 2 1/2.
And no, this one, yeah, this end on the new pipe that we have is 2 1/2 to fit the intercooler, but the stock end is 2 1/4, and that end is also, the other end is 2 1/4, so that should fit now. And then this has just been the only thing that's been holding us up to finish this install. So once this is in, we're gonna go for a rip and see if she's made any more power or even feels a little bit different. So we'll just slap that guy in, finish bolting the front end together, and get her going. Okay, please not explode. Let's let it run for a minute and let it fill up the rad, and then we'll turn it off and fill it up again. Alright, so unfortunately we're gonna have to do some benchmarking at night as it's been raining for the last 2 days, so I kind of tried to wait for the most dry opportunity to attempt this, and kind of as minimally biased as possible due to the temperatures also being quite cold. It was like 1 degree the other day, so it's a little bit warmer now, closer to when I got my tune and did the benchmarking then. And the concrete is about as dry as it's gonna get because it's supposed to start raining again fairly soon here, but it's just slightly damp, so we'll take that into account. And I don't think we're gonna have any wheel spin, as of course we are all-wheel drive. We're gonna give it a go here. We're gonna do the 40 to 100 and the 80 to 140. Nothing different. The tune hasn't been logged or adjusted by my tuner yet, but we're gonna be logging it after I do this benchmarking, and I will obviously record that and teach you guys how to log with OBD11. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead actually right now because we're where I want to be to test this. So we'll do the 40 to 100 and then the 80 to 140 pull. Faster than 40, okay. 3, 2, 1, foot to the floor. And there's 100. So now we'll slow it back down. All right, get up to 80. And there's 80, 3, 2, 1, go, foot to the floor. And there's 1. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry this one took so much longer than from when I posted my last video. Hopefully the numbers speak for themselves as I've put them on the screen versus the stage 2. And I hope this helps you make a decision on if you would like to get yourself an upgraded intercooler or not. But other than that, thank you guys for watching and peace out. I will see you in the next video.